Emily stood in front of the mirror, tugging nervously at the zipper of her emerald green dress. She'd spent weeks dreading this day, her ex-fiancé's wedding. The man she once thought she'd marry was now tying the knot with someone else, and she'd been invited. Out of pride, she refused to decline. Out of fear, she didn't want to go alone. That's when she thought of Daniel. Daniel was a single dad from her building, always in work boots, always carrying lunchboxes and backpacks, always smiling despite the long hours he worked as a mechanic. They'd exchanged friendly chats in the elevator for months, but never more than that. On a whim, she knocked on his door. "Hey, this is going to sound insane," she blurted, "but would you be my date to a wedding?" Daniel blinked, glanced at the toolbox in his hand, and then at the little girl peeking from behind his leg. "When?" "This Saturday." "Whose wedding?" She hesitated. "My ex's." His smile twitched. "Sounds like you need backup." "I'm in." The reception hall was a blur of champagne flutes, floral arrangements, and carefully staged smiles. Emily felt her pulse quicken the moment she spotted her ex across the room, looking smug in his tailored suit. Daniel, however, seemed completely unfazed. He held her hand. Not like a man pretending, but like someone making sure she felt steady. Every time someone approached, he'd introduce her with a gentle pride in his voice, as if she were the most remarkable person there. He made her laugh, pulled her into conversations, and even danced with her until she forgot she was there to prove a point. Then, during dinner, Emily excused herself to the restroom. On her way back, she overheard two guests talking near the dessert table. "Yeah, that's the guy. Single dad. His wife passed away last year. He works double shifts to keep his daughter in school. She's here with his mom tonight so he could do this for that woman." Emily froze. Do this, for her. It hit her all at once. Daniel wasn't here for a free meal, or because it sounded fun. He was here because she'd asked, because she didn't want to face this night alone, and because that's the kind of man he was. A man who would rearrange his life to make sure a near stranger didn't feel small or unwanted. When she returned to the table, Daniel looked up with that same warm grin. "You okay?" She nodded quickly, but her throat burned. "Yeah, I'm perfect." But inside, she knew she'd never forget this night. Not because of her ex, but because of the man sitting across from her, who had quietly reminded her of her own worth without even trying.